Are we live? Hey everybody, it's Rodimus Primal. I am live with you tonight, giving you guys a little live stream. Gonna just chat with everybody. I see everybody coming on. You know, I'd call out names, but the thing's going a little too quick, but that's all right. I am going to take some time tonight, and I'm going to bring you guys some Transformers news. Simply because, well, it's overdue that I bring some of this Transformers news, but also because I've been sick. You probably knew, and the cold that I had, they had me on some medication right before, like, while I was working on the Omega Supreme video, and then I had they put me on medication for it. And then, I've had some side effects from that medicine. And it's right from the doctors too. So it's like, geez, it's like, oof, like one step after the other. And I'm trying to get some more Transformers discussion videos to you guys. So I do want to talk about some of the news, since I haven't done so. And if anybody wants to help out, help me out with the channel. Of course, I do have a Patreon. I do have people can do super chats if they want, and I've also got the Streamlabs. I would prefer everybody go through the Streamlabs link that I do have in the description, but I'm going to start talking about some stuff, and then I'll answer some of your guys' questions. So let's bring the camera over, and where I've got going on now, here's Sabertron, and we're going to first thing I want to talk about is the Takara founder. That he passed away, Yasuta Sato. He was the founder of Takara, and what's important about him, if you don't know anything about Yasuta Sato, he was the what was he? How would I? He was the guy. First of all, he founded Takara, but he was like the guy who was in charge of Takara when Hasbro approached them about bringing Microman and Diaclone over to the US. So he was instrumental in bringing Transformers into existence. So it's pretty sad that he passed away, and he was responsible. I mean, there's the Koro Q toys. There is the, obviously a Transformer. I think these toys, like, it's something to do with Japanese culture with these little things, which people in the West don't look too fondly on them, but it is a kind of a thing in Japan. And I guess that they were dolls that they were supposed to go with, like Microman and Diaclone. I will look, like I said, I will look at the chat once I get it, go through all the news, and then I'll start answering some more guys' questions. But I figure I want to cover some more of the news. But that was like the main thing, obviously, that upsets pretty much, should be upsetting pretty much any Transformers fan. Kind of sad, it really is sad. Flipping over, right? And he says he's retired from the company in 2001, and then of course Tommy merged with Takara, which is how Japan was able to reissue Omega Supreme and Skylinks. Was after the Tommy merger. Toy line. Next thing, now this is pretty interesting. I find this news very interesting because of, like, some of the comics that are coming down the road. Is that IDW investors request to sell the company. I don't know what this means. I'm not into the stock market, but what it looks like is that the investors are not happy with the company, I'm guessing, and they want them to sell the company. I know it's a publicly traded company. Pretty much what they want is the shareholders want IDW to make money. If IDW is not making money, then yeah, they're going to be upset, and they have every right to be upset. If IDW is bleeding money, then people are not buying their books. Comic books are having a difficult time in the industry. I know that. Marvel right now, there's too many books, on the, there's too many books on the shelves for Marvel, And I wonder if like if IDW might have to go through that same problem. I hope they don't have that same problem with you know, with IDW, because I mean they've got like Transformers, they got ROM, they got GI Joe, they've got, you know, Ghostbusters. They're going to do that Ghostbusters crossover, which reminds me, here's something that's I found hysterical. This is so funny, because look at this. You know, got Megatron and Starscream meet Gozer, and it's that, you know, of course you got the Robo Dogs, and it's the Chromia styled Gozer, and it's that background, that same background there. That's too funny. That's just absolutely too funny. So this is just a little preview of the Ghostbusters, you know, Transformers comic. And I think this is actually going to be a good comic book to pick up. I mean, crossovers are always a fun one-off thing. You're not supposed to, like, take them as canon. I know G.I. Joe and Transformers make them canon because it's the same universe, but Ghostbusters, like, does its own thing. Star Trek, they're doing Star Trek with Transformers. But yeah, we know that, like, that, you know, IDW is hurting in that respect. And before I move on to that, yeah, this was the other thing with the IDW comics that I wanted to cover, was the preview for the new comic book that they're starting. And you know something, I'm reading, I know I was reading this, some of the parts of this preview here, and I'm just going to skim through some of the images. This bothers me right here. First of all, I don't know what this is, like what's up with Optimus and Megatron. I don't like the idea of Optimus and Megatron being friends before the war. It's something that modern stories have taken. It takes Megatron's character in a different direction. I get it. It's fine. You know, you want to make the villain sympathetic instead of being, you know, peace through tyranny, and that was the whole idea behind Megatron, and that kind of takes it away. And also, he's calling him Orion. So, by calling him Orion, yeah, he's saying, of course not. There are a great many things I do not wish to see again on Cybertron Orion. And I'm like, but that's not Orion. That's Optimus. You know, Orion Pax is, just going to type in Orion Pax. You know, this guy is Orion Pax. You know, before he was Optimus Prime. You know, that's Orion Pax. So I don't like the idea of a you know, because Orion Pax becomes Optimus Prime, and that's probably where they're going with the story. But they're not changing the robot on the outside. And I don't care for that, because that's something that the original story, like, I prefer that original story of, you know, Optimus looks up to Megatron, he meets Megatron, and Megatron betrays and kills Orion, and then Orion gets rebuilt as Optimus Prime. I like that, because that gives an emphasis on the character of Optimus Prime, that when you think about it, you have a young, naive, you know, factory worker in Orion Pax, and he becomes Optimus Prime. It's the same thing with Hot Rod. Hot Rod becomes Rodimus Prime. He's thrusted into leadership, and having that same, you know, thing go on. So, but this is the new, you know, the new storyline going forward. So, I'm hoping the story is good. You know, they're starting the universe. They've got Windblade in the comic, which she's pretty much has to be in everything, which is fine. I don't mind her character. I like her character, but if her character is told well, not like the Machinima series that really made me dislike the character, but Cyberverse Windblade I like. So, yeah. So that's kind of the thing with this comic. I'm hoping it's good. And then John Barber, he said, like, you know, he's excited to bring this new story, but he prefers his IDW comic universe, you know, where everything took a nosedive in the last year. That I think the storyline was not my thing for the last year. Um, that's it for IDW. I think in a nutshell. Yeah, pretty much. But now we're gonna talk about some Siege toys. Let's talk about some of these Siege toys that I'm excited about because I like some of these designs, really do. Here's the Siege Barricade, and if you haven't seen it already, yeah, because I've been sharing it on Instagram and Facebook and on Twitter, and everybody's been sharing it all over the place and all over these websites. But basically, it's Movie Barricade. What they did is they remolded the Siege Prowl. They gave him Smokescreen's head. I think I could be wrong. I think they remolded his chest plate as well, and they've given him a new gun. So I think this is pretty cool. I do think this is really neat. I'm excited about it, and because I want to see Prowl versus Barricade, and I also want to see Smokescreen out of it, and not just the blue Smokescreen from the alternators colors, but I want to see the G1 Smokescreen out of this toy. So that would be pretty cool. And I'm sure Repro Labels or Toy Hacks is gonna come up with Earth labels, so you can turn this into an Earth car. So you'll probably have like labels that'll go over it and make it more like an Earth car, and that'll be cool when they finally do that. But meantime, it's gonna be a Cybertronian car. Kind of looks weird. And I'm gonna say hi to everybody. I've noticed a lot more people are showing up on the stream. I'm just gonna say now that I will say hi and talk a little bit more once I get through some of the news, and then I will go back and start chatting with you guys, because I just want to get through some of the news first before anything else, and then I can chill out and relax with you guys. So that's how I'm doing it there. But I think this is okay. This is Blackjack, which who was it? Blackjack was the he was a Micromaster back in G1, but then they did the Combiner Wars, which went with Menasor, and they repainted him as Hot Rod for Combiner Wars. But now he's back as a Micromaster, which he is a DeLorean, so that's really cool. And if you already got Swindler, which I have my G1 Swindler? No, I don't. My G1 Swindler is in another. But I have my Micromasters, close by. So, and then he comes with Hyperdrive, I think, and it's just a remold of, because the other one was Swindler and the other one was Road Handler. That was his name. The Micromasters. There's so many Micromasters that that are out there. But what's really cool about this toy is that my friend a friend of mine, she actually drives this car. So she still has a Pontiac that she drives around this color as well. So I will be definitely picking this up, and I will pick up a second set specifically for her, and I'll say, look, they made your car into a Transformer. And she's not a Transformers fan, but she'll get a kick out of it. Just like a friend of mine, his last name is Monzo. So, when I showed him Weird Wolf and Monzo, something that was pretty cool and fun. So I'm happy that they're bringing that car in. So, and of course they have their gun mode, and that's pretty cool. I'm not really a fan of the weapon mode for a lot of them, because it's just two cars just slapped onto each other. But I guess it gives them an extra thing to do. Just just Micromaster small toys. But and of course there they are with Reflector. This is cool. First of all, you have to buy 3 reflectors in order to make a camera. They each have their own individual vehicle or Cybertronian mode, but if you buy all 3, they make an Earth camera, which is something that is, I think, is also amazingly awesome. And the little plate thing right here, you don't have to you can actually remove it, so you can have one robot with the viewfinder on and 2 without it, so you get that G1 reflector. You have to buy 3 separately. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. And then you have the who is this? I believe this is High Jumper Powertrain, Micromaster Robot vehicle. Kind of reminds me of Brawn, Outback. And I think this one's Powertrain. Could be wrong. And of course, the gun mode with Red Alert. Of course, we're back to Barricade. So that's pretty cool. You know, Barricade I definitely want to get. Reflector I want to get 3. You have to buy all 3 of Barricade. Definitely want the Decepticon Micromaster set, which is funny because still haven't. This I forgot who had given it to me. I showed this to me in one of my videos that people sent to my PO box, which was cool, which was great. I really appreciate anything that anybody sends me or donates or all of that stuff. So I'm always appreciative of you guys. I really am, because you guys watch my videos, enjoy watching me, have been just I'm humbled by your support. So I just want to say that. And also the artist Guido Goody, but I'm butchering his name. Sorry about that. But they show here that, of course, the Optimus, G1 Optimus, movie Optimus, this the Siege Megatron, G1 Megatron, movie Barricade, Guido Guide's design, and then the new Siege Barricade, because the original Barricade was he was a Micromaster, and I'm wondering if they're gonna do Barricade as a Micromaster as well. If they do that, I'll be happy, because you get both Barricades in the Siege toy line. I'll be happy about that, and they should do that. So I'd be really surprised if they don't do that, and seeing them in the packaging is pretty cool. Find that very, very interesting. Whoever was doing this should have gotten the G1 bots and actually showed them all. Would have been cool. But that's all right. So anyway, that's pretty much all of the news. So let's take some time and talk, and let's see. I'm gonna look through some of the comments. Barricade's car mode looks like his car mode back in the video game, more for Cybertron. Purple wheels. What's my absolute favorite toy line in all of Transformers? Masterpiece doesn't count. It's kind of hard, because pretty much the Transformer that's on my desk is usually my favorite at that time. But I'm a Rodimus Prime fan, so I really love the Power of the Prime's Rodimus Prime toy. Even though he's got his flaws as a toy, do I want to see the Decepticon Justice Division as Siege figures? It would be pretty interesting. I don't know if they'll go back and make toys for those characters. Hasbro sometimes goes back and makes characters for them, and sometimes they don't. Like Alpha Trion. Alpha Trion has become like a staple for Transformers. We didn't have a toy for Alpha Trion until like the BotCon Vector Prime repaint. So that was a BotCon exclusive. So what's this about my mic? Something about my mic. Want to stay on, but are kid? You got to get the kids to bed. Yeah, my wife's probably gonna get the kids to bed. So by June we'll have 2 Barricade at retail this summer, probably. What happened to everyone in Prime's trailer when he died? You know what? I've seen your comments, Gannon's post. Maybe that's a topic that I should look into. It's not something that was ever really covered. It just basically, it's because it went into the subspace storage pocket. So maybe what I should do is I should redo the subspace storage pocket video. Maybe that might make a lot of sense. That the sets on card are sick. Yeah, the sets are awesome. checking in for a minute. Saw you were live. Had to drop in. Investigator, if you haven't seen it already, I'm saying hi to you. What's up? Hey there, Boba Fett. Hey there, for Transformers. My day has been interesting because I'm trying to write scripts for new Transformers discussions. I'm trying to write a few scripts before I really hamper down and like make the next one, because I want to make good stuff. You know what I mean? I don't want you guys to like, to just pump out a video and it not be worth your while to watch. I think the movie version of Optimus Prime is violent. Yeah, I don't care for the movie Prime's personality. Like, give me your face. I've never been a fan of that. I have to study for a test tomorrow. Cyber Shadow Girl, I hope you pass your test tomorrow. All right, so get that information in your head. So what more can I say? When the Master Movie Piece, Jazz. Oh, you get him half off. I wanted 2 pieces. Favorite saying made up on this channel: it's not just a theory, it's a Transformers theory. Ha ha ha. Yeah, I guess you could say that. Up on. Please do a video on the Wreckers, Transformers version of the Expendables. I need to do some research on the Wreckers so that I can make a worthwhile video. I'm mostly into G1 content as well. In fact, speaking of G1, let me just grab something. Check this out. Here is my G1 Abominus. My G1 Abominus is he is beat up, very beat up, and he doesn't have his guns. But my wife was kind enough to get me Hunger for Power of the Primes, because if you know that she got me, my wife got me the Terracons. She could not find Hunger before Christmas, so she finally got me Hunger, and now I have Power of the Primes Abominus, and he is an improvement over the over the original. I such an improvement, like just posability wise, design wise. I like G1, but I like it when they take G1 and they just do something awesome, and make a character better than he was before. So I love this new toy. And just to show you what else is my G1 Blaster. Unfortunately, his the spring on his door no longer works. So unfortunately, I cannot get my second ram horn. Actually, that's my original ram horn, because I have 2 of them. One of them with the weapons, and then this one. And I can't get him out of Blaster, but he does still transform. So good old Blaster. I don't have I do have Volcanicus. I see there, John Beekman. I do have Volcanicus, the Power of the Primes Dinobots. I don't like Volcanicus. I like the Dinobots as a team. I don't like the idea of him being a combiner. Never did. And Volcanicus is very floppy. He falls apart really easily. He doesn't stand very well. I can't keep him in place, and it drives me bananas. But here is my G1 Blaster, transformed in robot mode. I know his gun is in my is in storage, but I do have his blaster kept it in a safe place, because his blaster is very thin and it can break very easily. But at least I do have a G1 for that. And then back there, if you can't see, I have a Power of the Primes Nemesis Prime. I have a Power of the Primes Nemesis Prime back there. you know, on my shelf. So still in package, but you know, I haven't taken him out. Which hand do I hold a mug? My right hand. So, what my you want to see my Avengers mug? Is my audio is a bit laggy? Maybe it's, I don't know. Maybe if I have to keep my my voice up, but do I hope Siege could get a Rumble because Bumblebee needs to be in toy line for me? I hope it gets a Bumblebee, and I hope it's a G1. You know, let me see something really quickly. You guys are saying there's something up with the mic. I gotta mess with the filters then. Move that. Okay, you guys should not be getting audio cuts any further. I should be sounding nice and clear, so, you know, should be sounding a lot better. Do I own my Siege figure? I don't have Optimus yet. And am I going to go see Captain Marvel? Okay. I didn't want to talk about this. I was thinking about doing a video about this because so is the audio better? Anybody, is the audio better now? I was thinking about doing Captain Marvel video about the whole hoopla about it. The thing is I'm an MCU fan, and so I want to see how Nick Fury loses his eye. I care about you know, Phil Coulson, and I want to see how things show up in Endgame. But I don't want to be told that, you know, I don't want to be told that I'm not welcome to talk about a movie, you know, and that's bothersome. And so the you know, so the lead actress there is too busy talking, and I'm on the fence. So what I'm probably going to do is like, I want to see it because it's an MCU film. It's a superhero film. I don't like being told that I shouldn't be allowed to go see the movie, you know, and that it's not made for me. If a movie's not made for me and you're excluding me, then you're, you know, what's to say you're not going to exclude someone else? So that's my opinion on it. I want to see Endgame. That I'm excited for. And I'm excited for Godzilla. Godzilla King of the Monsters looks amazing. If you guys haven't seen Alita Battle Angel, let me tell you something, guys. Go see Alita Battle Angel. Rosa Salazar is amazing in that movie. She's an amazing actress. She's that movie was just awesome. And I'm also a big fan of anime, so you know, I've seen the OVA back like in the day. So yeah, definitely go see Alita Battle Angel if you have not seen it already. Who are my favorite Lost Lighters? Mine were Tailgate Swerve. I liked Rodimus. Grimlock versus Godzilla, that's not even a fight. That's Godzilla destroying Grimlock, because Godzilla would destroy, like, it's more so Trypticon versus Grimlock. I mean, Trypticon versus Godzilla. Did they make a good manga adaptation? Yes, they did. They took elements from the OVA and from the manga, and they merged it together. Like, they added in, like, the character, the mom of Alita, or not Alita, it was Ito, and they made the body for the daughter, and they added her character in, and she's played by Jennifer Connelly. She was from the OVA. And then the manga, they added things from like the motorball sequences. So they added stuff in from the manga, and it's a good adaptation. They got the spine of the story up to a certain point. So wouldn't it be more appropriate for Godzilla vs. Trypticon? Yeah, that's what I was saying before. Have I seen Mobile Suit Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans? I have not seen any new Gundam series. I should watch more like Gundam. I think the last Gundam series I saw was G Gundam, back when it aired on Toonami. And I hadn't watched any of the newer ones. I want to see Galactus in MCU. Am I friends with other Transformer YouTubers? Well, Cabin and Cam, TF Fanpage 101, Raging Nation, TFU.info, Diamond Bolt, Last Prime Speculator. Those guys I've communicated with, I've talked with, either or worked with, or had in my videos, or I've been in their videos. Other ones I've not, and I don't know if they know me or acknowledge me or don't like me. I really don't. I don't know. I don't know if it's just kind of like, oh, that's just that, like, that, bald-headed, jerk who does those videos, and we don't like him. That's how I honestly feel like some people think about me. So I look at myself kind of down, I'll be honest with you. I'm a little too humble in that respect. I got 2 kids to take care of, and my wife and I, we got 2 kids. My son's gonna be 6 months in a week. Wow. Yeah, so I appreciate that. I do appreciate that, Patrick, Tommy. I appreciate that. I'm doing all right. I want more. I want to see my videos do well. It's like my Airwolf Springer intro, video. Like, nobody, like, I didn't get as many views as I thought people would watch it. It was only 1 minute and 48 seconds. So, hey Melvor, guys, if you guys don't know who the Game Chasers are, say hi to Melvor. Let's see. Are you kind? Let's see. I've been begging Cameron and Can for Fall of Cybertron campaign. My name sounds like a Beast Wars character. Well, that's kind of where I got my name from, and I'll talk about that more in a future video about where I got my name. Specifically, that Springer bid was so funny. Yeah, if you're a fan of if you are a fan of Airwolf back in the 80s and the A-Team, you'll love those 2 videos that I made. It was really fun to make them, and it's just maybe I should do it together. Like, I should do like a whole like 80s and 70s TV show, like do Alpha Trion's Angels, instead of Charlie's Angels, or maybe I should do what is it? What's the name of it? I can't figure out a good way to do MASH, but try to do Knight Rider as a Transformers intro. Did I watch Big O? Yes, I do. I have watched Big O, and I have the full series on DVD. And I was upset that it ended on a cliffhanger because I wanted to see how it ended. How would I be able to do Dukes of Hazzard, like just some good old boys? Like, who would be the Dukes of Hazzard? Run amok and run about, but there's no video of them like in car mode. So, Knight Rider with Road Handler, well, maybe, or Tracks would probably work. Did I like Mask? I watched episodes of Mask. I was never really super into it. I know some people are coming up on and on. Do I hate cliffhangers in different types of media? I don't mind cliffhangers if it does continue. Like, the cliffhanger at the end of season 2 of Beast Wars is what, like, made me want to see, it made me want to see season 3 of Beast Wars. Just like that ending was like, oh my god, like I have to find out like how that turns out. So would I recommend Ruby? I've only seen the first episode, so I gotta watch more of it to judge it. Favorite episode of Big O. The thing that sticks out to me the most about Big O, besides Cast in the Name of God, Ye Not Guilty, was the tomato episode. If anybody knows what I'm talking about with the tomato. Love the Airwolf video. Thank you for that. Sideswipe and Sunstreaker for the Dukes. Ah, that might work. Will I pick up War for Cybertron Siege Omega Supreme? If I have the money for him, I will buy him. You know, he's an expensive boy. So I want to be the producer of Transformers movies because Lorenzo. Well, in order to be a producer, you have to have bank. If you don't have money, you can't produce a film. So that's kind of how you become a producer. Will you pass the matrix of leadership to my son? Do you usually talk to? I talk to whomever I can talk to. So let's see. Is Transformers the first incarnation of Transformers to permanently end on a cliffhanger? No. G1 Rebirth kind of ended on somewhat of a cliffhanger. What's the favorite Transformers from the episode from the 80s? Burden Hardest to Bear, Ultimate Weapon. Those are great episodes. Hey Rodimus, had fun meeting Peter Cullen over the weekend. Oh, that's nice. Anquilina Serenity met Peter Cullen. He's really humble. He's cool. I met him in New York City back in 2005. And that's when I had a hornet sting and my face was swollen. And I am a nerdy kid, so I asked poor Peter Cullen a bunch of nerdy questions, and he kind of didn't know how to respond to me. I'll admit it. I'm a nerdy kid. I say things sometimes that put my foot in my mouth. But yeah, season 4 doesn't exist, so you don't consider the Rebirth existing. What Transformers do I like to see in Siege and its sequels? That's a good question. I don't know. I'd like to see, because they've done so many recently, I'd like to see more like 88, 89 stuff. I'd like to see Dino King and Monstructor, as a combiner. So jealous. Would love to meet Peter Cullen. He's a cool guy. He's a really cool guy. So was who I also met. I met Greg Berger at RetroCon. If you guys watch my RetroCon video, and Gary Chalk. So, and I've also met Neil Kaplan before. Back when he was just finished. It was like pretty much like the year after, like 2 or 3 years after Optimus. He stopped doing Optimus because Neil Kaplan did Optimus. Machinima went down. I don't know why they went down, and because of it, all of their videos went down. So they must have been acquired by a company, so they probably had to get taken down, and all their videos on YouTube got taken down with it. So I do have the entire Prime Wars trilogy, and it's not that good, saved on my desktop. I recorded it off of, I think either the YouTube channel or what's it called? Or it was like the actual, I think it was the Go 90. But I recorded it. I have it. So I can edit it like them as a movie. If anybody, maybe I could try and make something, but I probably can't sell it. But Greg Berger and Alan Oppenheimer. Alan Oppenheimer I also met at RetroCon in 2016 with Pat Fraley. And Alan Oppenheimer was awesome. He was straight up awesome. He did his Warpath. He did his Merman voice. What cassettes do I think Siege will do in the future? I hope Rumble and Frenzy. I hope Steeljaw and Ramhorn. I hope they actually do them as cassettes. Can I get you a copy? I can try and see if I can get you a copy, Melvor. I'm not a fan of the Prime Wars trilogy, I'll admit that. But gotta go. All right, Wolfpack, it was good talking to you. Wolfpack is back to causing mass destruction. Here we see the bad boys are wrestling. If you guys know that, you know who the NWO Wolfpack are. Mermaid. Yeah, Merman. Skeletor, we gotta get He-Man. That's my best Merman I can probably do. Do I think of John Bailey? He's cool. John Bailey's cool. I actually emailed him because I was thinking about trying to get him on one of my videos, and he wanted money that I could not afford. So you know, to be able to do it. And I understand he's got to make a paycheck. So, you only saw Masters of the Universe. So you know Merman. He was Merman, Skeletor, Man at Arms, Battle Cat, and who else? What other voice did he do on He-Man? But he was also Warpath and Sea Spray. So, oh, Decepticons. First 16 episodes. Well, I think they're like, you can pretty much watch it all on YouTube. Yeah, don't turn your back on the wolf pack. You might end up in a body bag. Do I have Cybertron Override? Yes, I do. Did I like Robert Stack? Of course. You know, Robert Stack's voice on Unsolved Mysteries, man. It's like that made Unsolved Mysteries. There's no replacing Robert Stack. Like, Jack Angel did a good job as Ultra Magnus, but you can't replace Robert Stack on Unsolved Mysteries. You just can't. Join me. Maybe you can solve a mystery. Do I play Minecraft? I could not get into Minecraft. It's just not my thing. I hope Beast Wars cartoon gets better animation. Yeah, it would be cool if they redid it, but I don't think that they need to. You know, it kind of stands on its own, even though it's horribly dated. But it would be fine. You know, I wouldn't mind if they just kept it the same. How come Rodimus Prime is my favorite? You will find out soon. You will find out soon. That's all I will say about that. Why is it called Unsolved Mysteries? Because some mysteries were unsolved. And that's what the whole show is about. Do I think Transformers Prime Optimus is the best Optimus? He was kind of a drag, to be honest with you. As much as I like Peter Cullen as Optimus Prime, the Prime version of Optimus, he was awesome in action, but terrible in, like, it was just like a speech like every episode. And I missed the fun of, like, Optimus playing basketball, or you know, hey, I'm up for a layoff. It's a layup. Chris Latta did a great job of Starscream and Cobra Commander. Of course he did. Do I play Sonic? Classic Sonic. The most current Sonic game. Well, I played the last Sonic game that I played was Sonic Adventure 2, back when it first came out on GameCube, because I did not have a Dreamcast. Now I have a Dreamcast, but at the time I didn't have one. And then I played Sonic Adventure 2, and then I didn't play any of the modern Sonics except for Sonic 4. And then I played on the mobile, you know, version. I played Sonic. I think was Sonic Rush, and that was the one where it was basically like Temple Run but with Sonic. And then I stopped. I don't play mobile games anymore. I'm not going to a TFCon in LA. It was $700 for a plane ticket, and I think it was like $300 a night, I think, for hotel stay. So there's no way I would have been even able to go to that, because I live on the East Coast, so there's no way I would have been able to go out there. And no way I would have been able to do so. If I was financially able to do so, I would definitely do it without thinking about it, because so many people are going to TFCon in LA. So, favorite triple changer, combiner, Titan. I love Springer. Absolutely love Springer. Defensor, I think, is my favorite toy, G1 toy of the combiners. Others, I love Fortress Maximus. I love classic Mega Man, classic Sonic. See, classic Sega arcade games. Remember going back in the day, you'd go on you go to the arcades and you play like Golden Axe and Altered Beast in the arcades, and then they came on the Sega Genesis. So, and you know, and it was pretty cool. But I mean, the arcade versions, of course, were always better. Springer and Astro Train. Want Transformers to have a 5th season? Well, technically it did if you count the Power Master puppet. If you guys remember the Power Master puppet of season 5, some of you guys probably don't know what I'm talking about. They had Power Master Optimus Prime, and they had a live actor who would sit on Optimus Prime's shoulder as he told, like, basically reruns. They told The More Than Meets the Eye pilot. They did The Ultimate Doom. They did the movie. They did Five Faces of Darkness, and they did the Rebirth. You know, all told through those episodes. Yeah, Power Master Prime telling stories, and it was basically reruns. So season 5 technically exists, technically doesn't. So, and it had a pretty cool intro because it used some of the commercial footage of the double target masters and the what was the other sequences that they used in it? I don't remember. The reason why, I think, to my understanding, the reason why the show was the movie was such a financial failure that you know, the movie was such a financial failure. It wasn't just Transformers the movie, but Transformers, My Little Pony, and G.I. Joe. Even though G.I. Joe didn't air theatrically, all 3 of those movies were really expensive. And because they were so expensive, the budget got cut for the next season for the shows. You know, so G.I. Joe ended and they didn't continue more episodes for for the Sunbow cartoon after the movie. Transformers had a 3rd season and just had that last episode of, you know, the Rebirth. And then they just did the rerun season 5. And then My Little Pony, I don't know if they had a season after that. But Sunbow went under because they no longer had the money to continue on. You got to go, Voidstorm. It was good talking to you. And so that's why, like, what Sunbow went under, and so they had no more episodes to make, you know, even though there was more stories to tell. And I think that caused, like, all of those shows, like, went under because of that. And you know, even though the movie was the movie was awesome and everything, it did not. Season 3 started as if you saw the movie, but it was only a month later that it aired, so people didn't know what was happening in season 3. But nobody went to go see the movie because, and I think the movies were a failure because the movie theaters didn't have them on enough screens. And I think that was what caused the original G1 cartoons, and I think all of the cartoons to end. At least Energon was just an inferior remake. You want an animated season 4? Well, at least animated had an ending that was an ending, even though it could have continued. At least it ended with an ending that you can say, like, it's over, like the show's now has an ending. G1 felt like it should have been more. Do I think Scorponok might make a comeback for the War for Cybertron trilogy? Yes, I do think they'll make a Scorponok soon. I don't know when, but I think it might be next year, because this year it's going to be Omega Supreme. Did I watch Thundercats? Of course I watched Thundercats. Thundercats, Ninja Turtles. I got a story to tell about Ninja Turtles. Ninja Turtles was really special to me because Ninja Turtles was it first of all, it came out, like, the cartoon came out when Transformers was pretty much like on its last legs. So, like, I got into Ninja Turtles around that time, and I absolutely loved the Ninja Turtles. And then my family moved from one neighborhood to another, and I was a minority in that neighborhood, so I got bullied in that neighborhood. And, you know, being in the Ninja Turtles, I was like, well, they know martial arts. I should learn martial arts. So I went to a karate school, learn how to defend myself against the bullies, because people did not like the fact that I looked like what I looked like. So, you know, I got beat up a lot, you know, growing up. So, and so Ninja Turtles has a special place for me. Also, I saw both Masters of the Universe Power Tour and Ninja Turtles Coming Out of Their Shells Tour at Radio City Music Hall. So, because my family is from New York, I was born in New York City, and then, you know, right before I started elementary school, my family moved to Jersey, and yeah. So, as much as I'm a you know, person and living in Jersey now, it's what's it call it? You know, New York is like, I have a special place with New York City. My dad's a 9/11 survivor, so you have an original Genesis. I have an original Genesis as well, and I don't like the Genesis flashback consoles, because they're garbage. You can ask Melvor and the Game Chasers about that, because they know that the at Games Genesis flashbacks are garbage. Do I look forward to a Ninja Turtles getting a third movie reboot? I think so, because a lot of people didn't like that last movie. You know, I really don't care for Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but I can see the appeal. Hey, you're from New York City too. I was born in Queens, so you know, my mother was from why am I drawing a blank? My mother was from Bay Ridge, and then she moved she graduated from Flushing, and my dad was from Bayside. So if you're familiar with New York City, you know what I'm talking about. And that's where we lived. Born in Brooklyn. My mother was born in Brooklyn. Yep, Bay Ridge. So Genesis flashback was a buggy piece of junk. Should add Unicron to the Generation series. I want to see a Titan class Unicron. That would be awesome. Superion Devastator is the master of all combiners. I like. I mean, everyone likes Devastator. I'm a fan of Defensor. I hope we get a G1 style Bumblebee. Yeah, so do I. But it's been fun, guys. Just chilling out and talking with you. It's you know, I haven't done one of these live streams in a while, but my voice is starting to get a little hoarse. Live in Long Island. Okay. All right. My aunt lives in she lives on the I think she still has the house in Floral Park on the Nassau side. So I don't understand why my flashback gets hate HD for Christmas. The animation, the emulation on it is not so good. What about Titan class Primus? I could see them doing another Primus. You know, I don't know if people would want a planet mode, but you know, like my voice is starting. I'm starting to lose my voice here. But can I do a big O? I gotta rewatch it. So, cesium salami or beryllium bologna. Yeah, you live on the east side. Oh, okay, so you live all the way out there. Wow, very cool. But yeah, guys, I'm going to end it here. It has been fun. I am going to get more Transformers video guys out to you soon. A lot more content. I'm also thinking about doing something where I talk geeky stuff, like outside of Transformers, maybe once a week. If you guys would be in for that. You know, if people want me to do that, you know, let me know. I'll gladly, you know, like talk, like whether it's something like Battle Angel Alita and the whole Captain Marvel thing, or Godzilla, or just like a geeky stuff, stuff to talk about, you know. And of course, I'll check out, if I see some cool stuff. Of course, I check out other people's videos out every now and then. But it has been fun, guys. Have a good night. Till all are one.